It's Friday, friends. Today I'm going to talk about my budget update since I bought the new house and how my rent turned into double for my mortgage. Wait, what? Who did what? We welcome you back to the channel. Let's get right into it. So yeah, you heard that correctly. Whatever my rent was, my mortgage is now double what my rent was. So is that an adjustment? Yes, it definitely is, but totally worth it. When I closed on the house and we were talking about financing, I said, okay, so is the mortgage due on the 1st? And they said, yeah, it is, but not till August 1st. Score! I closed in June of 2020. And what they do is they give you 1 month to get your ish together, and then the first payment is due the following month. So they skip a month. So what that means for Kate is I did not have a rent payment or a mortgage payment in July 2020. Thank you. Double your rent? How are you going to deal with that, Kate? I've been putting as much as humanly possible in savings for so long while planning and plotting and getting my budget rolling in the direction of buying this house. So a lot of the savings that I've been saving, I knew eventually could be put toward a mortgage. So now instead of it just sitting in my savings, it is going into the mortgage. Now remember, I have a full emergency fund. If you were watching all along here since I got the new house, one thing that I shared with you in a past video was that I was planning on a big down payment and then chose differently because of everything I explained in that video. So I had some money set aside. So I juiced up my emergency fund, especially because of everything going on in the world. I wanted to be just a little more confident. So now my emergency fund, I would say, is a nice solid 6 months. I'm not sure if I've said it out loud before, but I would not buy a house unless you have a fully funded emergency fund and also be out of debt of every other thing besides the house before you buy the house. Definitely helps. Okay, so the next thing, don't glaze over. People hear the word investment, retirement, and you're like, what? What happened? Since I didn't use all the money for the down payment, and since I didn't have a mortgage payment in July, I've been following this guy named Grant Cardone. He just recently came into my life. I follow a lot of people, you guys, and I think I always try to share with you that I take bits and pieces. Little bit of here, little bit of Gary Vaynerchuk, little bit of Oprah, little bit of this, little bit of that, and I piece together what works for me, and that's what I'm always encouraging for you. So Grant Cardone, one of his big things is he doesn't think cash is king. He thinks cash flow is king. And he's saying money sitting there doing nothing is not great. Besides like your normal, savings, emergency fund like that, but like just money sitting doing nothing is not going to benefit you as much as if you put the money to work. So I always have a goal every year, you guys, to max out my Roth IRA. The most you can contribute to a Roth IRA right now is $6,000 for my age anyway. So my goal always by the end of the year is to contribute $6,000. So far in 2020, I had only put in $1,000, and that's because I've been working my tail off on getting this house, right? I'm in Kaden's room today, by the way. I haven't filmed in here yet. Thought I'd just mix it up. Since the goal is always to put in $6K anyway, and I had this extra money, extra, please, not extra, but I had this money saved up that I was planning on using for the down payment. And again, since my strategy changed, I decided now was the time to take the remaining $5K that I hadn't put into the Roth IRA and slam it into the Roth IRA here in July. So now my Roth IRA is completely maxed out. I can't contribute another dollar if I tried. That is the most you can do. So I have put that in and it's in, and that money is now going to just start making me money instead of sitting there doing nothing. Do your job, boo. I know what some of you are thinking. I know what you're thinking. Kate. Buns? What the hell is a Roth IRA? I'm so glad you asked. I have a video for you. I will leave it up here. If you don't know what a Roth IRA is, hey, I didn't know what it was till a few years ago either. So I'm gonna leave that video up here so you can check it out, find out what it is, and see if it's for you. Because chances are, it is. Buns. Grant Cardone is this like super alpha male, and he might be off-putting to some. Some people don't like him, but there are some wonderful golden nuggets that he shares. And again, you take the pieces of things that make sense to you and you leave the rest behind. Personally, I'm digging him so far. He has this background of being like a serious drug addict back in his 20s, and he totally turned his whole life around. Check him out if you feel like it. You might feel the vibe, you might not. Again, bits and pieces, you know what I'm saying? So not only did that change my July budget in general, but now going forward, my Roth IRA, I don't have to think about it again until 2021, which is awesome. So now for my retirement, I will continue to contribute 6% to my 401k, which is offered through my employer, and they match 6%. So I'm really getting 12% for half the price. I can't stress it enough. If you're watching this and your employer has a match, get it. The next thing is food, and it's still yet to be determined because when I'm filming this, we're only halfway through the month. But you guys know that my normal grocery spending is around 75 to 80 per week. And last week, it was $169. And I was like, ooh. I literally do not remember the last time I have spent over $150 at a grocery store. Like, I don't do that on a weekly basis. You guys know I only go one time a week. And then the following week, after the 169 was around, oh, it was because I used that coupon. Remember, I got $9 off if I spent 80. So, you know, it was less than 100, but it was still higher than normal because I also needed more cat food. My cats are eating so much since we got to the new house, and I don't know how to stop them. I mean, obviously I could stop feeding them, but they're like starving constantly. You heard him crying? That's what he's doing all the time. He wants food. They're vultures, but they're so adorable. And I feel like it helps them not bother me through the night. So now I'm feeding them wet food. Can you tell me your cat food schedule, please, in the comments? I feed them wet food at night before I go to bed. I wake up in the morning with buns in my face, wanting more wet food. And I leave dry food out all the time for them to graze. So it's like, what do you guys do? They're starving lately. And I'm like, I used to only feed them wet food once a day. Sorry to go off on this tangent, but if you guys have cats, how much are they eating? Because right now I feel like they're teenagers. What the heck is going on? I could see my grocery budget bumping up just a little bit in the near future. When we can start more freely having people in our homes, I want people in my home now, and I feel like I'd be more likely to invite people over. So I feel like maybe that might just creep up a teensy bit, but as of right now, I don't see it going too out of whack. And in the summer, I usually spend a little bit more anyway. Kaden's birthday is this month. It's actually next Friday. So I usually have a little bit more that I spend for that, but I actually kind of budget for that separately. So actually that doesn't affect it at all. Pretend I didn't even say that. Electricity, I haven't gotten the bill yet, and I haven't put any oil yet in because the owner of this house left me with half a tank of oil. That was super cool. So I don't have to worry about that. No, I'm not running the heat, but we do have hot water. Haven't had to do any house maintenance yet. Hello, we just moved in. So this is my current budget update. These are the things that are glaringly obvious to me, or the things that I've kind of done that were a little quirky for July. But I will probably live a couple more months in the house and be able to give you another update in the future with a little bit more accuracy of what this is really gonna cost. differently than before and what I have to do to adjust. If you missed any of my new house videos, I'm gonna leave a playlist down in the description so you can check on that. Actually, wait, I'm just gonna leave it right here on the sides so you can just click on it after. And then also if that Roth IRA video intrigues you, I'll leave that in the description too. Always at the end of my videos, guys, if you're like, oh, I want more, I'm not quite sure what I wanna watch, I'll always leave videos at the end, and I'll always leave watch next in the description, so it helps you know what to click on next that you might be interested in if you are interested in this video. If you're a current homeowner, can you leave me down in the description what your biggest expense change in your budget was when you went from being a renter to a homeowner? I'm curious.
Please subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on all notifications, and always save money.
Love you guys. Hope to see you Monday for the next episode of the Questions with Kate show. And then, of course, every Friday. Okay, bye.